It's Luis Martin, the art engineer, and welcome to the studio. Thank you for joining me once again. Be sure you like and subscribe, and apparently there's a little bell somewhere over here that you can push to get notified every time there's a new video. So let's do that. I always forget to ask that. Let's talk a little bit about limitations. So I have a very special collage kit that's available at collagedream.com, and it's all black and white. Now, this kit came from a conversation with one of our members, Denise, and it was all, I don't know what the conversation was. She made a collage, I think, or she pointed out a collage that was all black and white, and I thought, what a great exercise in not only limitations but also bringing in your own color, right, and thinking about the images that we find. So let's jump in this collage kit, black and white. You can buy this one at collagedream.com, or you can just source your own black and white images, right? They're everywhere. So keep your eyes open and let's see what we find. Let's go. So this is the cover of the kit. This is a collage I made from a black and white image, and I colored it in. So that's what we'll do at some point, but let's just get started. So my favorite thing to do when I get my collage kit, well, I make them, so I always have them, but what I advise people to do is to create a pile, right? This is an exercise in activating your gut, trusting yourself, like what brings you joy, what triggers happiness, right, when you see it. Because once you identify it, you'll be able to recognize it when you see it in other parts of your life, right? So let's do that. So in the kits, I always throw in stickers, and I already used this one, so these are kind of like what's left. Stickers, words, and here are the images, and they're all different, and they're all really exciting. So let's see. Oh, wow, look, this is so cool. This is like an audience, you guys. I love it. So they're all looking at you, right? This beautiful, it almost looks like an Edward Hopper, but I don't think it is. Always look at the back. There's always fun stuff in the back too. So let me see. Oh, what's calling my name? Egyptian. Actually, you know what? The audience. Well, this really gives me joy, so I'll put this here. The audience really makes me happy, actually. What an interesting thing, right? So let's leave that. Classical art, beautiful. Why not? Oh goodness, New York. I live in New York. I came to New York because of images like this. So yes, this is kind of a cool image, right? Maybe. Oh, I like her too. Oh, she's fascinating. All right, so right off the bat, there's so many things that are calling my name. So always, when you're flipping through your magazines, this is the perfect way to kind of identify what makes you feel a certain way, right? So this image is kind of scary. It's kind of like ghost, and it's unsettling. So if it's something that you want to activate in your collage, go for it. You know, this is a safe space where you can do that, right? But if not, get rid of it. Ooh, I love this black block. Ooh, Annette Funicello, and what was his name? I forget his name. How fun. Look at this. Oh, this is beautiful. But no, it's Spider-Man taking a wee. That's fun. Okay, so let's just start with what I have. So again, always start with things that move you. And I think I really like this. And in the kits, I always offer this substrate. So this is a really good little piece of cardboard where you can start your collage and branch out from there, or just use it as your canvas, right? So let's start. I'm just gonna cut her out. So how are you? What have you been up to? What magazines are you looking at? Let me know. I'm always really intrigued in what people are cutting. I love magazines, but sometimes, you know, when they're all of the latest magazines, they're all talking about the same thing, and they're all advertising the same thing, and then you have no variety. So that's why it's always fun to go look at old magazines, even if they're just like a year old, because the images are going to be completely different usually. That's kind of fun. And it also tells you so much about what's going on at the time, right? Okay, let's see. I love when I'm cutting and there's a moment of silence and I'm just like, this is a way of meditation, right? So don't be afraid if you are super quiet, doing your thing, and ignoring everyone else around you. It's a good thing. Oh my God, that sounded like Martha Stewart. It's a good thing. I guess I am the Martha Stewart of collage. Just don't tell that to her. Okay. So this is an intricate image, meaning there's a lot of like curves and stuff. And you can take your time and cut it out as I'm doing, but you can also just cut around it loosely, right? It doesn't have to be completely perfect, because at the end of the day, it's not about the perfection of it, it's what you do with it. And you'll find that a lot of times when you're collaging, you don't use all of the image. So let yourself have a lot of freedom when you do that. And she's free. I liked her because I love her, that body movement, right? I think this is really fun when we look at art, when you go to a museum and you see a painting and you really want to kind of understand it, try mimicking their body language. Like, what does that mean, right? What is she doing? Taking out of context, it's really exciting. So check that out, right? Even just that right there makes so much, activates the page so much. All right, where's my little file here? And of course, always save these, not because you're a hoarder, but because look what you can do, right? Already there's something really interesting happening there. You can play with that. Check that out. Oof, maybe I want to do something with that. Choices, decisions, maybe. We'll put a pin on that because I really just like this. Because look at that. It looks like she's stepping into a void. Oof. All right. We're doing things. So a lot of times, you don't need a lot to start a conversation, right? Not necessarily to make a collage, but to start a conversation. I just started a whole conversation about the void and about body language with these two images, right? Like literally this one is just a piece of black paper. So lean into that. So much. This is the kind of, so in my kits, I always tell people, you don't have to use everything. Some of these things can just be things that inspire you. Like put this on your wall, right? If it brings you joy, if it brings you aspirations, if it reminds you that you want to come to New York at some point, use that. That'll help you out. So look at this. Oh, I love it. It's almost like she's addressing, right? Addressing the audience. But something about this really excites me. Okay. So we're talking about black and white. And the whole idea of this is that then it's almost like a coloring book, right? So you are going to bring in the colors that matter to you. So let's see where that takes me today. Because the prompts, any prompt, right? We had our prompts for Prompt Weekly. If you've done any of those, I invite you to revisit them, right? Because what you were going through back then is completely different than what you're going through right now in every way, right? So the idea of time travel or the idea of circus might be informed by your current situation. Not necessarily bad or good, but just things change. Maybe you saw a movie about a circus and you're like, oh yeah, now I'm thinking more Cirque du Soleil than I'm thinking about, you know, Ringling Brothers or something like that. How fun is she? Oh, I love her. So I'm using this small little substrate because this is what came in the kit. And I think, again, this idea of limitations also makes you think a little bit differently, right? So if I'm keeping to this parameter, I'm looking at the things that I have a little bit different. So I'm gonna go back to my kit and see what I can add now. Because remember, I had these fun words. Result. 5. How fun is that? Oh, I love stickers, you guys. Okay, I was premature there. Okay, so I'm gonna play with this. So this is a beautiful block of color, but you can play with it, right? It doesn't have to, I always tell people it's kind of fun to draw with these things, right? So what if you just play with fluidity, or, my favorite thing in the world, a ripped edge. Oof. What is more gratifying than that sound? Look at that. Also, ooh, oh man. So all of these choices, right, start to mean something. All right, so one of my favorite things is commitment. Commit, you guys. Collage is low risk, high reward, right? So do not be afraid to commit. I prefer you to make choices right away and build on them, right? Because sometimes we're just waiting for the perfect moment and it never comes. So I am just gonna commit, and I encourage you to commit, because at the end of the day, this is just paper, right? But the better you are at making choices here in your art practice, the better you'll be at making choices in your everyday life. And you thought this was just an art activity. No, 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 no. It all comes together. All right, so I like this, you guys. Now I want to bring in the color. Like, what do we have? What do I have? Washi tape, my friends. So these are really dangerous, you guys. I know I've spoken about them before, but the perils of washi tape are real. These are addictive. So I'm gonna use this as color. And perhaps I can just layer them. And look how interesting this starts to happen. So all of a sudden, I'm turning on the light. And what I like about this is it almost looks like brush strokes, right? Because they're translucent. Now, you don't need to do this with washi tape. You can also use any kind of tape, Scotch tape. They sell different colored tape that duct tape makes. So play with it. One of my favorite things is the painter's tape, right? The blue tape. That doesn't stay very well. It's not permanent. Actually, I don't know if this is permanent. But the thing about it is that you can play with it, right? So I'm just gonna go all the way down and see what happens. And as you can see, I'm being a little messy. And I think there's a lot of magic in that, because this is so precise and so well cut that we can kind of balance it out with haphazardness somewhere along the line. Let's see. And maybe I want to touch the bottom a little bit. Oh, that's rich. Okay. Yeah, let's meet the horizon. How fun is that? Maybe the 5. Ooh, that adds a little air of mystery, right? Like, what is this 5? What does it mean? Okay, maybe I'm gonna play with that in a minute. And I think I just need that one thing, right? What is that one thing that I can add to this to activate it a little bit more? Like I said, I had these stickers. They're like little dots. Oh, perhaps I can put that here. Oh, okay, things are happening. Okay, so I'm gonna put this 5 here. I think it's kind of fun. So don't think about it too much. Just think about nothing. Actually, just be curious about it and see where it takes you. And then when you're done, then you can think about it a little bit more and what something might mean. Oh, I love that. It's almost like she's protecting this 5. All right, I'm gonna commit to this. I'm gonna stick this. And something interesting is happening, right? So if I'm looking at her body language, and now that she's holding this 5, it also looks like she's scooping something with this hand. So there's all these narratives that start emerging, right? So let's see. Guys, what is she gonna be holding? Oh, I I think I have an idea. More black. I like it. You guys, this is my collage. I think I made a collage. I think this might be like the fastest one I've made so far. Do I need another one here? Is that cool? Does that do anything? No, no. Okay, so this is something that's really cool. Let me think a little bit. I can activate this a little bit more by even coloring her skin, maybe. But that's the point of this specific prompt, right? Playing with color in the absence of color. So this conversation all of a sudden is kind of her protecting this 5. And what does 5 mean? I mean, you can do a whole free write about it, right? Is it the senses? Is it a magic number? And what is this here? It looks like a void, right? I think I want to color her in. So I have my handy dandy coloring set here that my teacher gave me. And I always like to have a nice brown color because I'm brown. So these always become proxies, right? These images become extensions of myself. Even when we're not trying to do it, we do it. So today I will be this person. I think it's a female. So today I will be female. And how powerful is that, right? So let's see. And you can go along and even draw or add elements to the dress, right? Oh, this is cool. And one thing I always love to do to make it more me, I'm gonna incorporate my tattoo. I have these lines here that represent the beginning, the middle, the end, the mother, the father, the child. And all of a sudden, it's me. You guys, this is my very quick black and white collage. So what did I do? I assembled a bunch of black and white images and created a pile of the ones that moved me. You can get the collage kit at collagedream.com or just pile your own, make a stack of the things that move you. And then I played with the washi tape. The washi tape became the color that kind of started this conversation, right? And I love her body movement and kind of goes up and it's really cool. And for balance, I use these little white dots. Sometimes that's all you need, right? Like 2 little dots and it just creates balance. And again, we're doing that triangle thing here, putting 3 elements that are similar and it creates that balance. So this is my collage. I am really excited. I want to see you try this and see where it takes you and how you turn on the light. What colors are you gonna bring into this black and white collage? Thanks for hanging out. I will see you next week at the studio. Ciao.